Welcome to this next episode of What Do You Want to Cook? It's really interesting how many diverse people make up a healthy and thriving community. Some that have been here forever, some that you just met but have been here a while, and people that move to a community for a particular reason, fall in love with it, want to be part of it, want to make a difference. My next guest on What Do You Want to Cook, I like to refer as an international man of mystery. He's a wonderful guy. I think that we could hang out and let's get to know him a little bit more. Ryan Blum, how are you? Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. You know, a minute ago, I have to be honest with you, I was just thinking, I just like literally called you Ryan Blum, and you're like, well, that is correct, but Ryan Blum. Explain, tell me real quick. So you've spent time in other countries, you speak a couple different languages, and tell me, what is the correct pronunciation?
Well, if you ask any member of my family, and that'd be back in California where I grew up, they're the Blums. In fact, my brother and sister-in-law who live in Portland call themselves the Portland Blums. However, I married a German woman, and the word is actually German. It means flower, Blum, which is anytime I travel abroad, I used to work in an international company. Everybody over in Europe and a lot of other places calls me Blum. I answer to both. I'm not really bold into one or the other. As long as, you know, people get it with one of the two, I'm fine. Anything else like a silent Q, maybe not so much, but.
Blumk?
Yeah, Blumquist.
That's fun. And just, in case you're wondering, everybody, it is B-L-U-M, hence the minor confusion. So, Ryan, you and your wife first moved here when? What drew you to living in a community like this? Why did you move here?
Well, you know, to explain that, I actually found the phrase that worked for me later. And of all people, it was Paul Benoit, former city manager, who described the ethos of Astoria back in the day was gritty, not pretty. And what we really liked about this is it was what we called a real town, which is kind of confusing. But what we meant by that is it clearly had history. I mean, it's the oldest town west of the Rockies. It has a lot of people who've been here for generations. It has a connection to the indigenous communities. It is just drop dead gorgeous, but it felt authentic. And you know, I'll contrast that to some of our southern neighbors, whom I think are great towns. Like, I like Cannon Beach. I think there are other towns of that ilk that are great. I just thought this town, it works in both a literal and metaphorical sense. It has enviable history, fascinating people, you know, and it's just everything we could want. And it was someplace I said, we would like to be there, but with the caveat, we didn't want to change Astoria. We actually wanted to support what made Astoria so special. And I think this kind of factors into a lot of the charitable and volunteering work that we do, but we think it's a really special place, and we want to become part of that fabric. We don't want to stand out from it. So as opposed to being the bright splash of color on the canvas, we're happy to just be part of the muted tones in the background. It's a wonderful place. It's the only place in the United States, both my wife and I, individually, on our own, without consulting the others, said we could live here. So we did. That's
absolutely incredible. You know what? I would love to know why people move to where they move. I mean, what draws people to that? And it's clear what drew you to this. Folks, if you're enjoying our content here on What Do You Want to Cook, real quick, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We want to keep doing this for a real long time, and we're going to need your help to do that. Hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, like us on Facebook, share away, and all of these wonderful things. But Ryan, I have a question for you. What do you want to cook?
Oh, okay. So the thing that I thought would be great, so we're recording this, it's summer. And it's been really hot over all parts of the world, but it's also a great time for produce. I'm somewhat of an athlete, so I swim a lot. And I thought, you know, this is a good meal you can take or remove protein, but it's called a Caprese salad. Most people know what that is. It's just, traditionally, it is tomato, mozzarella, and fresh basil. That's it. You add a little salt, balsamic vinegar, and olive oil, and that's all it's comprised of. Now you can kind of zhuzh it up and add, in this case we're going to use seafood, a little hello, or by the Pacific Ocean. But you can do a lot with it. It's healthy, it's fresh, and it's as good or bad as the quality of your ingredients. It kind of bespeaks the whole Italian ethos of quality ingredients make for a great meal. But if you don't have those things, it's not a good meal. I also spent time in Italy. I studied Italian a long time ago. And I'm sure we won't have time to get to the story, but I was invited to live and work in Italy. But my German wife, who had kind of remade herself as an American, didn't want to do that again in Italy. I still kind of miss that idea that there could have been an Italian version of myself out there,
Yeah.
but I'm sure in a different alternate universe, there is.
So you speak Italian, so I'm putting you on the spot. What are we going to call this?
But like our version of the Caprese?
What are we going to call our version? So what we've done is we've gone, so look, I went to the co-op. I can't say enough good things.
Agreed,
so I went to the co-op, as you do, and I picked out what looked nice, like today. Like I went there and I'm like, okay, he wants to make this. Let's go pick this out. This was what was nice today. Just little cherry tomatoes. There was some nice fresh basil. I had some little. They had some little prawns. Look at that. Nice garlic clove and these little fresh. Aren't they cute? The cutest little mozzarella balls you ever saw. I can't stop eating them.
Please.
We may not have any left for the salad here in a minute, but anyway, so yes, what do we call this? What we're going to make? Oh, and I forgot. We're actually going to make a little bit of a honey balsamic like reduction. We'll kind of drizzle it around the plate, and you can pick up some of the bits with a fork and kind of swoop them through the vinegar. That'll be pretty good too. So just like a little fun addition to that. So go for it. What do we got?
With pomodoro.
Yep.
Formaggio, basilico. I could probably do that in German too. But it's just those three ingredients plus the side things. But it's a caprese, insalata caprese. So just a caprese salad. So Caprese, caprese. And it's a perfect summer dish. I wouldn't eat this unless you happen to have a really good hothouse, or go to Iceland where they've got good greenhouses and good tomatoes.
Right.
Normally when I tell people to make this, my preference is heirloom tomatoes. You can make it with Roma tomatoes. Stay away from beefsteak tomatoes. These lovely little cherry tomatoes, great. They just need to be fresh. I kind of like them on the sweeter side because you want some balance to the acidity of the balsamic vinegar. And the tomatoes are going to really kind of pick up the salt too. So any kind, it's just fresh and good. That's the only thing. Basil, I would stay away from like a lemon or any of the kind of odd flavors of basil, just a traditional fresh green basil. And mozzarella comes in different sizes and different types. This works fine. I know some people use the large balls. It just depends how you want to make it. These work perfectly with the little cherry tomatoes. If you're using bigger tomatoes, I would use a bigger type of cheese. But it's a nice salad because you can, if you like, I like to freestyle a bit, and you can make whatever works for you. If you like to really rip up your basil, or you want to make it very decorative and nice whole leaves or half a leaf, you can do that. I usually like a little heat. I might be persuaded to put in a little bit of chili pepper somewhere in there, whether it's in my marinade or on top of the tomato. That could work well too. It's just whatever speaks to you, but the nice thing is you're going to be healthy either way.
I like it. We're going to dig into that here in just a couple of minutes. Thanks again for joining us on What Do You Want to Cook? We'll be right back. My name is Chris Holen. For the past 25 years, I've had the privilege of calling Astoria, Oregon home. It's a place that's authentically reinventing itself and bringing about new life. And it's all happening through the incredible people that live here. They're making a difference, one meaningful act at a time. And that's not just an Astoria story, is it? It's a common thread intertwined through every thriving community around the world. Whether it's a small town or a big city, it's powered by its people. Folks dedicated to putting good out into the world. Now, What Do You Want to Cook? We're bringing these stories right into my kitchen. This show is about connecting with the heart of the community, no matter where you are. We'll cook dishes that tell a story, We'll explore how these guests are making a difference. And we'll discover together why these moments of connection are so vital in today's world. It's a cooking show, a talk show, and a celebration of good people. So, what do you want to cook? And what stories do you want to tell? All right, here we are back. So, here's the thing. We want to do things in a particular order so they end up done at the same time, all right? So we were talking about making this balsamic drizzle. So let's put balsamic vinegar in a pan. Got to hit the GoPro, right? We want to make sure we plug these shots in for you. Okay, this I did half a cup, right? 4 ounces. Balsamic vinegar in a pan. We're going to put it on a flame over here. Look, you don't want to have that be too hot. You don't want it boiling away, all right? Because if you do that, it's going to end up. Look, okay, here's the outcome we want. To have the proper reduction on this, we want it to coat the back of this spoon. We don't want it burnt, and with all the concentrated sugars in balsamic vinegar, it'll taste burnt for sure if you do that, all right? So anyway, we're going to put just a little bit of honey. Let's just go with like 1, 2, let's call like a tablespoon, all right? We're just going to hint that. That was 3 teaspoons, in case you didn't notice. Which is a tablespoon, all right? So we're going to hint that. We're going to get that going and let it start reducing, all right? The next thing we want to do though next, you want to cook?
Sure.
Let's use this instead. I changed my mind. Okay, Ryan's cooking. Here we go. So we're going to go on a kind of a medium-high heat. A little bit of olive oil in this pan. All right. We're also going to take. Can you grab that bowl right there?
This one or the?
Yeah, the white one's good. Okay. So we're going to marinate real quick, just briefly, these shrimp, these prawns. All right. So that goes in here.
Can do.
All right. That goes in there. Let's. We're going to hit. Probably like maybe the juice of like half a lemon or something, right?
Oh, it's becoming ceviche.
That sound good? Sorta. I mean, we're gonna have just to add. It's really gonna help like flavor. Like this is. I think that's probably plenty though. We'll save this for like a later time. All right. Should we season it?
Yes.
A little bit of that. Why don't you choose what you want?
Here, I'm gonna spread them out so that the acids can begin to break it down.
There you go.
That one I'm gonna.
We got a
little rag.
A little bit of that.
How many pinches?
Some. I'll tell you when.
All right.
Oh, you got no. Come on. Oh, yeah, you're good. It's hard to take it back out though. Okay, that's cool.
I have high blood pressure, so I'm erring on the side.
Oh, right,
of
my
caution.
bad.
Yeah.
All right. Also, why don't we have? Why don't we throw in like a little bit of garlic in there? And
you're gonna get all chefy and smash it with your knife.
We're gonna get all chefy and smash it with my knife. Okay. All right. So.
Someone has skills here. It's not me.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. You never invited me over for dinner, though.
There's a reason. I'm skilled at eating. I didn't say I was skilled at preparation.
You know what, folks, I can attest to that. Ryan is an exceptional eater. He's super good.
I am, and this is why I have to work out.
That's why
I work out to eat. Not the glamorous way to phrase it, but it's
right.
Accurate.
So let's just hit that real quick. Throw a couple of these guys in there. So you season it. Let's see. We just got maybe a little olive oil.
Yep.
Little lemon juice. And we have a little olive oil in the pan.
I turned this to be boiling.
I think let's turn that down a hair. Right?
Ooh, yeah, let's go that way.
A little higher.
Don't want it to gutter. Oh no.
Yeah, it will go out. So that's probably right. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to smash this up. Literally just rough chop the garlic. We'll chuck it in with the prawns and saute them up real quick. And then we're going to take them, put them aside and let them kind of just cool down a little bit. I don't know if we need to put them in the fridge. You could. I don't mind warm.
No, prawns. I actually, most of this stuff is at room temperature. So yeah, you don't want the temperature contrast.
Right.
Besides, if the lemon juice is doing its thing, it's kind of getting slightly cooked anyway.
So let's just do a little, kind of mix that up. All right. Good stuff. You know, you talked about working out.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna start cooking these prawns, but so you talked about working out. What's your you're a swimmer?
I am a swimmer.
You are a swimmer. When did you swim, like in high school and all that?
I did. I grew up in what is technically a desert. So I've been in the pool since I was, I don't know, 2. But it was only I swam competitively in high school, and I was fairly fast. I mean, I'm nothing close to like collegiate or Olympic level. And where I went and did my undergrad, they had Olympic quality swimmers. So
Right.
instead of trying to redshirt, I just did it recreationally and have been doing so, I don't know, for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah. You know, I have to ask you about something though. There was recently, less than a year ago though, some local doctor had some crazy idea to put together a group of good crazy swimmers to swim across the Columbia River. Now, it's what is it, 4.1 miles wide?
It depends on the width. If you go direct, like from
you
shore to shore.
Okay, so if you went straight across the river.
Where we left, it was just about 5 miles.
Yeah.
But that doesn't account the current.
So you're part of this crazy group that decided, yeah, let's do this. Let's swim across the Columbia River. Why did you do that?
Well,
what was that all about?
So for those who are unfamiliar, Astoria has a long tradition with its regatta. You know, we have regatta.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, actually, you know better than most, right? And they wanted to bring it back. It had not been done for 90 years.
Right.
And so Dr. Paul Silka said, let's bring this back. And they said yes. And there were something around 15 of us.
Yep.
And most of us were already swimming, so we kind of trained, and a lot of us had done open water already. But just to do that, and instead of it just being 5 miles, the best way to get when you account for the current, which is 3 to 5 knots, is you do a parabola. So it's actually...
You do what?
You make a parabola, so instead you don't go directly.
Obviously you make a parabola.
Yes.
That's as you do. Okay, go ahead,
You
sorry.
don't swim in a straight line because of the current. You actually head east.
Yep.
And then as the last half mile, the current catches you and spits you out at the Maritime Museum. That was close, somewhere like 7 or 8 miles is what it ended up being. So it took us like somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, depending on the swimmer.
No big deal.
No big deal.
You know, I was a swimmer in high school. I don't know if you knew this. I was a swimmer in high school who I honestly turned down a college scholarship to swim. I just was ready to do something else. You know, I spent from 6, 7 years old all the way through high school swimming competitively, and I think I was ready to move on. It consumed so much of my time. Like, I had other interests. And
you don't like the perfume of chlorine, maybe?
That might have been it. My hair was like really bright. Anyway, all right, so these are good. Okay, let's put these, actually, let's grab a clean, this one's, yeah, let's grab okay. We're gonna just put these little, aren't they cute?
Do you want me to take the tails off?
Aren't they adorable?
They are.
Yeah, we can pop them. Let's let them cool down though, so you don't burn your little finners.
This is true.
All right, so we got our little prawns. Let's just set them aside. All right, now, this is all you now. This is a great knife. I think what we're gonna do, let's start with cutting tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes, in half.
Yes.
And maybe we'll...
Yes, sharp knife is
the
key.
So swim the Columbia River. That is a trip, and I will... no swimmers were harmed in the making of that endeavor.
No.
Just so you know, everyone did. It was unbelievable. I went to the end.
Oh, you were at that's right.
And watched people get out of the water, and it was... uh-oh.
No, we're good.
You good? Holy cow! Like that was incredible, man. Anyway, well done.
Thank you. Well
done.
I am not. If you think I'm hyper now, this is not my normal. I'm a bit more reserved because I already swam 5,000 yards this morning, so I'm a little tired.
Yeah, you just went and just busted that out.
Yes, with the same doctor who organized this, and he's doing it again this year. I've decided to be a volunteer, so I'm going to help coordinate and make sure that everybody gets off and arrives safely. I don't know if I'm going to be on a boat.
You're going to be on a boat or kayak or whatever, but that's...
Either that or I'm going to be at the start and finish line, wherever they need me.
That is, yeah, well done. That's great, man. What a cool thing, right? That's like the greatest challenges, man. So, while you're cutting tomatoes, so Ryan, you're part of the. Now, look, I want to preface this conversation with, I realize, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I know that besides just being just cool people that we run into and occasionally have a meal with and et cetera, a lot of people don't know the good that you do and the good that you put out in the world. And I appreciate that you don't really advertise that. You don't talk about it a lot. And when we decided to have have you on the show, the caveat of, look, I like to be anonymous, and it's okay to be anonymous when giving to others. But I know a couple of things that I think I can talk about. One is the North Coast Land Conservancy. Tell me about your involvement with the North Coast Land Conservancy.
Well,
and try not to slice your finger
while
you're talking to our friends here.
I've already decorated the floor, so that's probably enough. Well, gosh, when we were preparing to move to Astoria, they were one of the first two organizations that we wanted to support. So the North Coast Land Conservancy protects and preserves wild spaces here on the north coast of Oregon, all the way down to Tillamook County, so most of, Clatsop County, along the coastline. So they're really seeking to protect and preserve natural corridors, environments, so that the wild beauty of Oregon, and that includes now a marine reserve, stays accessible and pristine for generations of visitors and Oregonians. We really love the way the North Coast and the Pacific Northwest is, and so that's why we started donating to them. We even did this really cool thing. Did you hear about the whiskey, chocolate, and wetlands? So my wife and I worked with them, and we did basically a whiskey and chocolate tasting to raise money for them. And we did that
That must have been rough.
That was the worst thing ever. Everybody hates those two things. And recently I'm on the development committee, so I helped them try and raise enough money to continue their operations and acquire more things. They just acquired a huge piece of land. It basically is from mountain to sea. It's the Rainforest Reserve. And these kind of projects helping to protect the environment for all these indigenous species. They've given some parcels of land back to some of the indigenous communities. Just everything they do is kind of the legacy I'd like to live, and just more of the natural world for generations to come to enjoy.
It's the legacy that you would like. Go ahead, say that one more time.
Gosh, I wasn't even holding on to
the legacy that you would like to live.
leave.
I appreciate that. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. We appreciate that. I mean, it's really cool to have these kinds of open natural spaces to.
I think this might be reduced enough.
I think we're getting close. Here's a towel.
No, thanks. I'm just trying to turn it down.
I think it's really important to preserve these natural spaces. Just to, if you can't develop everything, man. You got to have, right? You got to have spaces that are meant to just leave them be, let them be what they are.
Well,
right?
and
is that would you say that's accurate?
Yes, although a lot of their spaces are open for people to recreate and come and enjoy. So it's not taking part of the world and removing it from public usage. It's actually making sure it stays that way, but giving the public access. And I know the place around their new headquarters. They'd owned this land for a long time. They had an office there, it burned down. And so they've just built a new office for their organization, and it has a big community center, but they've got a herd of elk, there are mountain lions that wander through, there are rough-skinned newts. It's just amazing. And knowing that there are lots of young Oregonians, and they're going to get to experience stuff that, their grandparents would have. Oh, that looks...
Oh, I didn't even show that. So I got to say, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, this is fine.
You were getting there. All right, here's the deal. Check it out. So here's a culinary term of the day for you. Nappe.
Nappe, is that the...
Nappe.
Nappe.
Right. It's lost in translation. There's no direct translation. But nappe would be the consistency of a sauce. Okay?
Okay.
So that it will...
properly coat
the back of a spoon.
Like when they say wine has legs, and like how quickly it goes down the inside of a glass.
Kind of like that, right? That's nappe.
Nappe. Okay.
Yep.
I have been educated.
And now I have nappe,
want me to
and
show-
we're done. I'm going to put that over there. All right. Nappe. All right, next. Basil, huh?
Basil.
I don't think we need to cut this mozzarella up.
Probably not with that. A lot of people, though, it depends. This is a
It's
textural
little.
question. If you
Little.
want the round or the flat, if you would like part of it to just be
Right.
flat, it will also, when it's round, it will roll around. So if you're one of those people who likes to make architectural food and you stack things, you're going to need to cut them in half.
Architectural food.
Yes, things that are layered, stacked.
I'm going to add that into my my future
You can teach me
vocabulary
things
of
like
things.
nappe, and I can teach you things about the architectonics of the culinary environment.
Yeah. Do you like this cut up, the basil? You like it whole? How do you like it?
I usually do halves because I like a big thing of basil, but you want to spread it out.
So if we're going to toss though this little tomatoes and little mozz together, do we want the basil cut smaller, or do you want to have
I would
still
cut
half
each.
leaves?
Half leaves is great. You can hand tear them or you can cut them. It just
Yeah.
depends.
Here, you go for it.
Yeah, you could use my knife.
Yeah.
again.
Cool. You can use
Do you
a
just want me to
knife,
throw 'em in there?
I think so, right? Toss it in there. We'll toss that in there. We'll mix it
I know
together.
enough not to take liberties in other people's kitchens.
You know what, man? I don't have any rules here, Ryan. This is your.
Well,
You're telling me what to do. So take me back a minute. Why this dish, right? You went to college, high school in Italy? You lived there for a minute? Is that what happened?
I did a summer program when I was an undergrad between freshman and sophomore year.
Yep.
And was close to getting a minor in Italian, but then ended up wanting to graduate on time. So did not. But then my first job out of undergrad, I sold America as a destination to people from around the world, but predominantly Italy. And my largest client, which was the largest tour operator in Italy,
Right.
I dealt with them. I would come into work and I'd take phone calls, and then I would finish my day and send all my communications to them, and I'd start. And then at least once a year, sometimes twice, I would fly over and see what they wanted and coordinate the year.
Right.
And through that, I had the opportunity to move there, although my German wife, as I said, did not want to do it. But yeah, I used my knowledge of Italian and the culture to do that. And so this salad appeals to me, but also I grew up in a very agricultural portion of California, the Central Valley.
Sure, yeah.
So all of this fresh tomatoes, the basil, and we actually have a fair bit of cheese there too, reminds me of both places I've worked and studied and also where I grew up. And it speaks to me, but it's also the healthy thing. Like, I can really indulge and eat a lot of this without feeling too guilty. There's the real rationale.
So speaking of cheese, how much cheese you want to put in there?
I would say
Go for it. You put
at least half.
Do
'cause
it. Yeah, do it.
I mean, think of this. It kind of represents the Italian flag. I've heard some people call this insalata tricolore, but a three-colored salad. But I think that's actually something else.
But it's hard to pronounce, so they don't always say that.
Tricolored salad, yes. That's probably adequate. But you want, it's like the Italian flag. You want all three colors, an equal amount of white, red, and green. And you can vary that. It's just to taste.
Tricolore.
Tricolore.
How'd I do?
You did really well.
Yes.
Like nappe.
Nappe.
Nappe. Is it French or
En français.
from Latin? I would assume.
That's a great question. It's one of those words that doesn't have its only direct translation is so that the sauce coats the back of the
I
spoon.
wonder if it's a thing
It's
where
all
we-
summarized in one word.
Do you think it's where we get the same root for like the nape of the neck?
Oh, interesting. I bet.
Do you want me to take the tails off the shrimpies?
Let's do it when we plate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Extra virgin olive oil. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Adequate.
Okay. I'm going to toss. What do you think? We probably need some sea salt?
Your salt mixture would be
What do you
great.
think? Should we use this one?
I think we should, unless you want to mix it up, but I want to keep the flavor profile the same, so when you hit the shrimp with that, this will just bring the flavor back to what we had
That's a good
earlier.
idea. Yeah. Let's use Chef Daddy.
Yes, and that, but you have multiple flavors. I think we're sticking with this.
Shameless promotion.
Yeah, who is the daddy and the Chef Daddy?
And if you know where to, if you like this salt, I know where you can get some. Chef Daddy. All right.
Link in the corner. Right?
Link in the corner. There's a link on the page. Just so you know, you want to maybe stir a little bit and all.
Yes,
Something
please.
like that. We'll just toss it together. Oh, that's funny.
I might add
Look,
a few more.
the tomatoes and cheese and the basil that I chose this morning for this, it looked good. When I was walking through the produce, I was like, let's get that, right? It's what
It looks, I mean, if the camera can get it, it looks really tasty. I would be, if you were doing a barbecue, like a summer barbecue, this is so good. Or
That's
just
super
an
nice.
evening, you know, you got some friends over, maybe
Yeah.
you're going out later, this is a really good kind of just appetizer.
Right. Super nice. All right.
Antipasti.
How about a couple of plates? Oh, here. How about these guys?
Yeah. Oh, duh.
Let me wipe this up. Let's put those right there. All right. So Ryan, you, funny enough, you know, everything's connected, especially in a town like this. Like, you're on the Liberty Theater Board.
I am.
And you know, we had, in episode 2, Jen Crockett, the director, came on and hung out with me on the show.
One of my
so
favorite
if you haven't
people,
seen
yeah.
episode 2, you got to check it out. She's awesome. She's absolutely awesome. So you're on the board of the theater. Why the arts? Like, why the performing arts? Why did that speak to you?
Well, one of my earlier careers, I was a director of programs for the Western States Arts Federation, which handled all 13 Western states, including Hawaii and Alaska, the Alaska connection there. And I ran a grant program in the performing arts. And if it's not coming across on camera, I had aspirations of being an actor very briefly when I was in high school and realized
Awesome.
I lack the aptitude, but I am definitely histrionic. So I think it's like a lot of things. I believe that these kind of human activities, and particularly ones that bespeak our passions, are super important. They're great training grounds for the youth. They often represent our best selves, our most articulate versions of humanity. So, and you know, the Liberty does more than just showcase music. They actually have films. We bring in all sorts of acts, from popular to rather esoteric. And in a town of our size, and Astoria is about 10,000 people, it is a real rarity that we would have such a high caliber performing arts space that people could see everything. And it's available for rental. We have a local resident who you might want to bring out, who does an annual showing of the movie Practical Magic right before Halloween, and a number of the town dresses up as witches, like in the movie, and then they go out for midnight margaritas afterwards. But I think it's really important to give spaces where you can see a different part of society, or whether it's Shakespeare, whether it's contemporary dance, all of these things happen. And there's also a Kids Make Theater program that teaches young members of our community about the performing arts. So that's why that one. But you know, my wife and I support a number of charities, but I'm kind of breaking tradition here, and that is I give anonymously. In fact, I don't like putting my name on anything. So the fact that I'm talking to Chris tells you how much I respect his appreciation for Astoria, that I'd actually do what I won't do in public, namely go out and say, oh yeah, I support these things, I work with these people, because it's really not about me. It's about this town. It always has been.
And I appreciate, I super appreciate you coming on the show and talking about, like, you know, a lot of people throughout the world, we're not, okay, I can't say that though. Astoria, Oregon is special, man. But we're not the only special community here in the country or in the world. There's so many people out there. There's so many wonderful places that are like us around the world. And I think it's important, Ryan, what I really want to share with people is just different ideas. I want to share some thoughts about how you can contribute to your community, contribute to your society, humanity. Make a difference, one meaningful act at a time. And that's what the message I want to share. Folks, if you're enjoying our content, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button, follow us, tell your friends. We're really having fun doing this, and we'd like to be able to continue to do so. So you'd be helping us out. All right, so real quick though, Ryan, let's get into finishing this dish, all right?
Okay.
And let's see, we talked about, okay, so what we did, we're going to get fancy. Okay, so we have this lovely nappe balsamic honey
Drizzle.
drizzle. Now, what I was thinking is, are you a salad dressing person, right? You got to ask yourself that. Or do you want to be able to eat the dish and then maybe just have a little salad dressing as you choose? So what I was thinking is that we would just go kind of around the outside of the dish, all right? So you can have it or you can not. You choose. It's entirely up to you. We'll kind of put it on the perimeter. All right, what do you think? Does that look nice?
It looks really nice. Normally when I make it, I just throw the balsamic and
Right,
the
but you
olive
know
oil.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but this is something you could serve to someone and they're like, wow.
Plus, it looks pretty rad.
Yeah,
right?
that's attractive.
It's restaurant quality.
But if you're a pig like me, you're like,
Yeah.
just throw it in the trough. And you're
You know
good to
why
go.
we do this, like really do these presentations like this in the restaurant industry?
Because it allows them to pick the amount of flavor or side dressing they want without overwhelming.
I mean, look how nice it is.
It is very aesthetic. I mean,
It's-
it actually looks like modern art.
So we can charge more.
Less is more.
We can charge more. I was
That's
kidding.
also why you
I'm
get
just
pretty
kidding.
plates.
Why wouldn't you want to eat with your eyes first, right? Somebody mentioned in another episode, smell-o-vision. Like, imagine if you could smell this through your phone screen. How cool would that be, right?
Well, I mean,
I don't. It's probably coming pretty soon, though.
although honestly, if you're going to give me the choice, it smells great. It tastes better. Like, I'd rather eat through my phone. But then we'd all be working
But
out
it's
all
one of
the
those
time.
it's like drinking wine, though. Think about it like that. Drinking wine, you know, where when you go and you swirl the glass, you inhale it before you taste it. So you're kind of tasting it through smelling it before you actually even get your tongue wet. How about that?
Well, and as you know, when you're sick, right, if you lose your sense of smell, food doesn't really taste.
right?
But it's also, I mean, there's the physicality of this, kind of the somatics of
Yeah.
kind of making, and then when you eat it, especially when it's like that.
Without further ado,
Forchetta.
he's gonna grab his forchetta
So I get to be the
and
arbiter
have a
of,
little.
like, how
I don't know.
good?
I want to see your reaction here.
All right, I got to get a little.
I got to
of these.
stand back.
All right, I'm going to
Let's
be
catch
delicate.
the reaction.
Like, I
Here
don't
we
want
go.
this to...
Here we go. I'm still waiting. You see how, here's the other thing. He's like building that one bite that has a little bit
Of
everything in it.
I like that. And if it was actually getting toward fall, I might change out the protein or avoid it altogether. But like, this is really good for like a light dinner.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I like the drizzle. Although if you're not a big fan of balsamic, then you may not like that part as much as I do.
Yeah, just some people it's unnecessary.
And
Right.
beware the tomatoes. Like, it's helpful that we're wearing these aprons because they will spit on you. But
Right.
it does, yeah. The tomatoes to me are always like the best part. That and the basil, but I really like having some shrimp in this too.
That's nice. This sauce is good. I don't think it's overwhelming. I don't think I would have liked. Personally, I don't know if I would have liked it like all the way over the top.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
it's your jam. And obviously, if you have vegetarian friends, you can substitute the cheese. Well, if they're vegetarian, you just
Yeah,
take out the
vegan,
protein.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if they're vegan, you have options for this too.
100%. Yeah. So, Ryan, what is there anything else you want to add to this conversation? So we talked about like Land Conservancy, Liberty Theater, giving, and honestly, I mean, we talked about swimming, crazy long distances in bodies of water where the tide changes and they are running. Anyway, that's crazy, right? Is there anything else you want to add? Like, what do you have something you want to share with our viewers that might, I don't know, really kind of get them going with
Well, I'm always brought back. I used to teach, taught for a few years, college students actually. And to me, a big part of it was fostering environments where people felt welcome and were willing to take risks. But it was all in the pursuit of helping people identify their passions and supporting them and doing the work they wanted to do. So though I prefer to give anonymously, and that's a big philosophical thing, I don't want my name on things. In fact, I have a donor advised fund, and I picked it because it's really distinct and different from my own name, so it wouldn't be affiliated with me, because kind of like this town, kind of like the places I cherish, I'm really trying to set things up for my fellow residents or inhabitants so that they can enjoy, and there's more opportunities for them to contribute and enjoy this special place without thinking that I am the reason that this is happening. This has always been here. The things I support tend to have existed, and I want them to continue doing so. But part of that is I came to charitable giving, philanthropy, later in life. It was actually when I was working in the arts. I had the opportunity to put two different performing groups together, one in Mexico, one in the US, and they collaborated and made this really interesting piece, which they performed in Mexico and Los Angeles. And I thought, you know, I don't need my name on the marquee, but to know that I helped two artists and their companies achieve this collaborative vision, and they went on to do different things, but they each informed one another, that kind of made me think that would be if I had, like, my favorite ideal job would have been working for a foundation. Sadly, I never achieved that. I do something much more mundane. I do property management and investing. But it's about giving, to give people the chance to do that kind of thing. And, you know, I would like we talked about legacy earlier, and I want all of these groups and causes that I support to continue and to provide these opportunities for people like myself. If I hadn't had the opportunity to bring these companies together to fund the work that they do, to make something that enriched a whole bunch of people in places that I no longer live or have never lived, that's really important to me. And I mean, I value locality a lot. It's a big part of why we live here and why we like the whole North Coast. But it's also allowing people who may not be from here to come and enjoy it, but it's also giving them the ideas you could go back to wherever you live. And, you know, I have been all over this country. I've lived in the Midwest. I've, you know, traveled. I've done work in New York. There's something special about every place, and it's finding that and helping to bring that to others and nurturing it and allow other people to do amazing things with it. I'm equally protective of when people try and take that away from us, but really the whole reason I give, and particularly anonymously, is to keep these things going forward. So whether it's the work that I'm doing with Consejo Hispano, any of the volunteering projects, and I usually do several throughout the year, it is kind of giving back, because if I was fortunate enough to find myself in a position to support others, that gives to me, but I'm hoping it will give something to somebody else. It's a very long-winded way, sorry.
Whew. Ryan Blum, thank you.
Hey.
I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming on. Let's eat the rest of this thing. Folks, think about it. What's meaningful to you? What can you support in even the smallest way? What do you want to see last forever? Think about it. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
On What Do You Want to Cook? That's good?
Yeah, that's great.
You happy with that?
I'll have to get back to what